Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday and I'm in a random hotel and it's the middle of the day, then it must be Warhammer Weekly. Yeah. So, what's up, Tom? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, hello, friends. I'm here.
You are. It was not expected. I told Tom you have the day off, and he's like, "Oh, I can join." And then so now we're trying to make this work, quite randomly. So hopefully it's happening. I'm watching my phone. I'm not really seeing anything yet. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're coming through.
Are we
Okay.
on?
So this is a hotel
I'm
show
going.
with dodgy hotel internet. You can hear me okay, right, Tom?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay, great. Everybody out there watching, give us a little thumbs up or something like that that we're, coming through okay. Hopefully that's all working. Everything looks live. There you go. But yeah, today we're just going to talk about Scourge of Ghyran. Okay, like that's all we're doing. We're keeping it real simple today. We're just going to talk about these two new rules updates. I've got a busy day here where ahead of me, but I wanted to, of course, get a show and couldn't leave new Skaven rules undiscussed for the week. We had to still do the show, but I'm just not going to have any other time today. My day is absolutely packed. So hey, easy time to maybe get some EU friendly streams in or UK friendly streams in, stuff like that. So, but just a little bit of banter while people are joining up here at the beginning. Tom, how you been this week? Are you excited about Scourge of Ghyran? You like what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about where we're going and what kind of the trajectory is. I think that these first two articles are positive. I think that it is a good direction. Is what I would.
My biggest question is because there's some variance, as we'll see, between these two articles as to what's in them, right? And
Yep.
so the biggest
Yep.
question in my mind as this goes forward is how much variance do we keep getting? Like here, we're going to see a different, there's like different types of rules, different numbers of war scrolls. What's the cap on that? Does that make sense? What I'm asking, right?
What is the range? What
Yeah,
is the deviation between the different packs? No, absolutely.
yeah,
2 pages of PDF is what we've seen.
right. So are they all 2 pages? If so, how much can we fit in those 2 pages? Like, is there going to be any completely net new rules? But these are new rules, but I mean, like, okay, we've got different kinds of enhancements here. Will we see anything with new enhancements? Right, like a new enhancement type. That's certainly possible. I don't know. So I just like
It,
I will say these first two set my expectations pretty well. I think they're good. Is the high level story of them? But go ahead.
so it's funny that you bring this up because actually it set my like the developments that we've seen have set my expectations a little bit differently
Okay.
in the sense that um, because they are 2 pages, which is really tight from a rules writing standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to continue to be that way, but because of their preface that this is tied to the 2025-26 GHB season,
Yeah.
what that signaled to me is that these may actually be printed in the GHB.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could. They would have. I doubt it. I'll,
Maybe.
I'll tell you why I doubt it. Because
Okay.
they would have had to. A lot of these feel like more recent awareness of challenges so far.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and the
Yep.
GHB realistically went to print like almost a year ago. Okay, like that file got locked that long ago. So it doesn't. The timing doesn't overlap here. They couldn't have added these. I think these were made like a month ago.
Well,
It,
because they're going to have to program them, right? Like if these are going to be viable play patterns and they need to actually be usable in, like they need to show up in the app for the army builder,
yeah, sure. But the app team can
right?
respond a lot faster than like going to a physical print book. Remember, I mean, they're
It's true.
like this stuff has
It's
to be
true.
sent to print so far in advance, right? The app team is under their control as opposed to like
Yeah.
printers in China, right? Or sometimes I think they're still. I don't. I think the GHB is still a China made product. Some of them are printed in the UK now because they are opening up their UK printer. But either way, okay. So let's see. Uh, Ismail, let's look at some comments. Maybe destruction will have
Yep.
two usable tactics. I mean, we'll see more when we get to the actual GHB and we get to how the new tactics are going to work. So, we'll see.
Yep.
Ismail said, for the moment, I'm quite happy. Wishing Stormcast got at least a formation or something. Tomorrow is FEC, my army, praying for the delusion. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, we know FEC is tomorrow. So, and I mean, by the way, this is just the show for the next like month, just so we're clear. Like, unless something else incredibly
Sure.
big happens,
Sure.
the show is just going to be us discussing these rules updates every week. So, tuck in for that. And okay,
I know we haven't done news, and you're saying that this is news, but
Yeah.
there is another news item.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Uh, Team USA brought in the win
They
for
did,
World
yeah.
Champs.
Team USA brought home the gold. Very exciting, obviously. Congratulations to Sean and Tom and everybody else on the team. Excellent work there by everyone. I mean, we can talk about a couple of things. Obviously, Scourge of Ghyran's the biggest thing, but
Yep.
like this is there's certainly other things going on. We'll just do a quick other things. Well, instead of a full news and pick of the week and all of that, we'll just do some things going on around the hobby. So first off, yes, congrats to Team USA. Absolutely correct. Huge win. Very excited for them. They've been pushing for it for a long time. On that same tip, or on a different tip completely, sorry. Newest episode of Snarlcast, Uncle Adam and I's podcast is out. So go check that out. It's linked down in the description. This one's all about lore in games. So get ready to argue about lore and how important lore is. Spoiler, I don't think it's very important. There you go. That's what it comes down to. And then, of course, also, other big news, Tom. The new book, which we haven't said anything about yet, but we got it back and it's good. We got the book, and so we've ordered everything, and it's set to release. So yeah, the book has been finalized.
Excellent.
The proof has arrived. We've done everything for those of you looking forward to the new book from Uncle Adam and I, our newest game, coming out at the end of this month. It's very soon now. Very soon now. So there you go.
Are you saying you're going to release product before GW does?
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be a busy time there in that month. Yeah, 100%. Okay. So I mean, like this is, by the way, we should talk about when this started. This started more or less, I think, when you and I predicted based on the count when we talked in the show. Like if the GHB has a 2-week pre-order, which is what we thought, and it's sort of the end of June, so you count back 8 weeks, right, or 7 weeks or whatever. This is basically exactly what we're going to have. Yeah. So this was more or less exactly what I expected timing wise. Yeah. Was there anything else? Anything else around the hobby news that you thought you wanted to discuss?
No. I mean, like I just wanted to acknowledge like Team USA had a big win, and I wanted to honor that.
I thank you for bringing it up. Absolutely right on to do so. 100%. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So, hey, Gray Boy, thank you for the super chat. Yes, everybody hit like and subscribe for random hotel shows on an early time frame. Thank you for the super chat very much. Super chat's there if you want to throw some money at the show. I got a new microphone for the show back at home that I'm not using right now. The irony is rich. I literally set up the new microphone last week. I got a new one, and now I'm getting the new microphone for. I got it. I'm still saving up with the super chats for the microphone for hobby cheating. The feedback when I talked to other people was I should invest in this show first since it's live. So okay, so that's fine.
That makes sense.
I mean, I talked to some sound expert people, and they told me like good mics to do, like other people in the hobby. So in the YouTube game. So at any rate, all right, Tom. With that, shall we turn and discuss some Scourge of Ghyran?
Sounds great.
Okay, we're gonna start with the Skaven, obviously. So with the Skaven, quick overview here. We have 2 new battle formations, right? We have 3 new heroic traits, and we have 2 new war scrolls. Now, let's make a note about the war scrolls here first and kind of talk about what's going on. So as said, all of these rules become tournament legal. I mean, you can obviously play with them in your home game right now. Like, nobody's stopping you. The cops won't show up, I promise, right?
Sure.
And but they become tournament legal with the new GHB when it releases, presumably at the end of June.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And in the article, we have the new. Each of these articles also has new points for the new War Scrolls in here. So you basically have the old War Scroll doesn't go away. What they've decided to do is call this like the Scourge of Ghyran, Screaming Bell, and the Scourge of Ghyran, Brood Terror, right, and so on. And that has its own points value and entries and all of that, right?
Yep. Have you figured out what the red little circle is on the War Scrolls?
The red little circle. Circle. Are you talking about the word save?
Is that the word save?
Yeah, that's the word save. That's what it is on the format of the new cards. Yeah.
On the new cards. Okay. I don't own any of the new cards. I use the app. And so
Gotcha.
that makes sense.
Yes, that's how it looks on the new card. They're just making it match what the cards look like when you buy them physically.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
So Howard, you'd have to Howard, you watch the full discussion. We talk about the importance of lore and also the difference between story and lore. So I understand, and we talk about people just like you, Howard. It's a deep discussion on lore. Go check out the episode. It's linked down below. I highly recommend it. Okay, so all right, now let's talk about how these new War Scrolls work. Okay, they have different points, like unique points and different rules completely, obviously. So you're allowed to use either one, but you can't use both in the same army. How do you feel about that?
Right. It's fine.
Okay. It's
fine.
I'll tell you right now,
it's disappointing.
Looking down at one of these, I want to use both of these in the same army, and it kind of makes me sad.
Well, I get that. I think that just from a pure confusion standpoint, it makes sense to restrict it to I am using the Scourge of Ghyran rules or I'm not, rather than this one is Scourge of Ghyran, this one is not.
Sure, I mean, technically you could still split it. You could use like the regular Screaming Bell, for example, and then the Scourge of Ghyran Brood Terror. Like that would be legal, right? You just can't use like
Correct.
By the way, shout out to Gareth, who our good buddy, Econo Hammer, so Scourge of Ghyran, SOG.
Yeah.
Right? So he has taken to calling these soggy War Scrolls. Okay?
Sure.
So the soggy versus the dry. Are you using the soggy scroll or the dry scroll? And I like that, and I think we should just adopt that. So shout out to Gareth. Soggy scroll versus dry scroll. Which one are you using? So, there you go. All right, let's get into the specifics here. Okay. So we got two new battle formations. First of all, I kind of like the direction of these much better than the old ones because they're finally doing battle formations kind of the way I expected, especially the second one.
Like play style oriented. They're more like play style, unique approach oriented rather than just like plans.
Right. Correct. Exactly.
Rather than just keyword orientation.
Exactly. And so I really have, I've said repeatedly that I think that the, like the sub-factions, battle formations, whatever you want to call them, in the current books are like my biggest letdown. Because most of them are just like so linear and so just like keyword focused. They don't feel interesting. Okay, so this is kind of better. The Envoys, the Deeping Gnaw, I really don't understand. Okay. It's to protect one of your big Skaven demons, so one of your, presumably like Vizek or something, right?
Yeah.
And it gives them a ward of 4-up. I should state they already by default have a ward of 5-up.
Sure. I mean, what I would say is this: like, it's not a trait; it's a formation, meaning that if you're running like 3 different Vermin Lords, it applies to all.
Yes, absolutely. My point is, it's a lot for like an additional 1 point of save, of ward, I should say. Sorry.
Sure.
To your demons, and you have to kill infantry every time you make the ward save.
Yeah, like, I mean that doesn't mean anything.
I mean, like it kind of
have dozens of extra bodies. You have dozens of extra bodies.
Yeah, if you're playing like a clan rat thing, sure, I guess. But like, I'll be honest, I think most of the demons or most of the demon lords are crap, and there's like a couple of particular play experiences for them. Now we'll talk about actually an interesting one in a moment, but this isn't.
But if they drop what if they drop 10 or 20%, right? In the next GHB.
Yeah. Then they
right, like because we don't know if there's just a point shift that's going to happen as well.
Absolutely, no, it's completely fair. I will say this one's fairly, the Will, the Horned Rat one, the Envoys, the Deep in Gnaw, whatever you want to say, is pretty unappealing to me. I can't actually see an army that I want to play with this. And in fact, I'll go a step farther and say that if I was going to run a Demon Lord focused one, I wouldn't use this one. I'd actually use the second one. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so the Gathering of the Clans. Let's just talk about this second one. Once per turn, gives you an ability. Once per turn, army reaction. You declare the redeploy command for a friendly Skaven unit. You get to pick 2 other friendly Skaven units that are not in combat and wholly within 13 inches of the unit using the redeploy command to be the targets. Each target must have at least one of the following keywords, blah, 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 the army keywords. After that redeploy command has been resolved, each of the targets can immediately use the redeploy command in an order of your choice without any command points being spent. That's crazy. So you're getting 3 redeploys
it's like
for the price
just
of 1.
Floating clouds, right? Like, yes, no, that's exactly right. Yep. And normally it's one thing to redeploy a single unit, right? Because you're throwing dice and who knows, 1 to 6 inches. But normally, but if you're throwing 3 dice, you're going to be able to close those gaps between, like, if you're trying to screen or you're like, it's going to make a much larger difference.
Yeah. And the reason I say this is actually the one I like for the Vermin Lords, okay, is because the Deceiver has a reaction he can use when someone redeploys that makes the redeploy a minimum 4. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And somewhere in my head, there's a list. I haven't figured out the list yet because I haven't had time. I've been traveling, obviously. But somewhere in my head, Tom, there's a list with like the Deceiver, the Warp Gnaw Vermin or whatever, the basic one. The one that allows you to move an extra 2 inches when you use 3 claw steps ahead. Yeah. Okay, like the cheap one. And then Critic, who lets you 3 claw steps ahead 2 units. Okay, where you then have, like, in their hero phase, you're moving 2 units like 8 inches. Okay, one of them has to be Verminous, but you're moving like 2 units 8 inches in their hero phase. Okay, and then in their movement phase, you're moving 3 units, like basically a minimum of 4 inches, and it's just so much movement. Now the problem is that's actually like a lot of points for those 3 guys that aren't any of your other troops. Yeah. I don't know what the rest of the list is, but somewhere in my head there's that list of just like it's their turn and you are just moving your entire army around, and I'm like, that sounds legitimately fun and weird as a playstyle. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. No, I agree. Chris C said, honestly, the words "I haven't figured out the list" are super exciting to hear with list building in this edition. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you're not wrong. Like, it opened up a whole, I was like, see, that's what these formations should do, is like open up a whole new thing where, like, I'm going in there, I'm trying to tweak the list. How much do I need of this? Do I need this trick or not need this trick? Right? What's the other units that are properly going to support this very orthogonal strategy that's unusual? This is pod racing, right? This is what we should have. And that's what you can do with like one good formation.
Formations are in AOS as the commander is in Magic.
Said it 100 times and I completely
because agree. Because what it's doing is it's setting the tone and it's determining what your inclusions are going to be.
Yep.
And so the list actually flows out of the play style rather than just the optimum list, and then you just choose the best formation that fits that tool set.
And there's nothing wrong with some amount of the formations on the commander level. There's nothing wrong with some of the formations being kind of linear, right? Like there's perfectly good elf commanders that are just like regenerate elves and all elves get a bonus, and like that's fine. Just put in more elves. Like what's the build? It's just put in elves, put elf cards in, right? Like that's okay.
Yeah.
But like but there should be more than that, right? There's like other interesting strategies we should be building around beyond just the most basic linear of include more of this thing, right? We should be able to do both. Okay. So anyways, I think Gathering of the Clans is like a really, really interesting sub-faction that has a lot of play that I want to mess around with and build some lists around. Okay, let's talk heroic traits. So we got 3 new heroic traits. One of them I think is really... Actually, 2 of them I think are interesting and good, and one of them I think is like silly, but whatever. That's fine. Okay, so first off, we've got Devious Underling. This is a deployment phase thing. Okay? So you pick a friendly Skaven hero on the battlefield with a health characteristic that equals or exceeds this unit's health characteristic to be the target. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's make it very simple. Okay, just for extremes. You've got a Claw Lord. you pick your Vermin Lord. Yeah? Doesn't have to be the case. You could just pick 2 tiny heroes because it can be equals. They could both be 5 wound heroes. But for simplicity, let's call it the little guy, Claw Lord, and the big guy, the Vermin Lord. Still here? All right. For the rest of the battle, okay, while the target, the big guy, has not been slain, friendly Skaven infantry units have a ward of 6 up while they're wholly within 13 inches of this unit, within the Claw Lord. So the Claw Lord is bubbling out a big 6-inch ward, as long as the Vermin Lord is alive. Okay?
Yep.
Once the target has been slain, so once the big guy has been slain, the Vermin Lord has been slain, add 2 to the charge rolls for friendly Skaven infantry units while they are wholly within 13 inches of this unit. I'm sorry, what?
Love
within
it.
13 inches of the Claw Lord.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Love it.
That's a big bonus. Tom, this makes me this is an exciting heroic trait. This is pretty great, right? Especially because it's very easy to get one of your, since they can be equal, it's very easy to just get a small hero that's cheap and toss them out there. Like, you could just skitter leap them right up to the enemy line, right?
Yes.
And just be and just run them in or something, you know what I mean? Just
go, Captain.
Yeah.
Go, Captain, my Captain.
Yeah. Go get him, Claw Lord. You got him. And just throw him away. He's 80 points, and he just goes and dies. And then, boom, your whole army, basically, a huge bubble of your army is +2 to charge. That's an insane bonus.
What does a Claw Lord do? Ipsum Lorem. It's just +2 charge after death.
Correct. I love that, what a fun... What an absolute... It's a little confusing. It took me, I will admit, this took me a couple reads to really understand who was the target and who was this unit or whatever. But once you kind of think big guy, little guy, and lock that in your head, it becomes easier, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is really fun because you can just keep the thing alive and backboard them if you want or whatever, be careful with them, or you can use guarded hero on or whatever.
You get war save.
Right. If that's going to be more valuable, then you can just keep the save. If it's not, you throw them away, you skitter leap them, you do a million things, you run them through a gnaw hole, you got 100 movement tricks in this army, right? But you just get them killed, and then boom, your whole army is just racing across the board. I would point out I love this in a Molder army a lot, with a little Claw Lord sacrifice piece, because you can your rat ogres can then be at +3 to charge, which is wild. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's a good one and fun, and does has interesting play patterns wrapped up. This is good design. Yeah. This is very fun.
As a trait, as I say, as a trait, it's so funny. This is the kind of thing I expect out of formation. Mm-hmm. Right? Where this is actually incentivizing certain play styles rather than just being a flat bonus. Right? Where normally traits I've associated with flat bonus.
It's a cool skill test. It's fun, when you pull the trigger. Yeah, it's good. Okay. The next one is much more simple comparatively, but still good. It's Flesh Meddler. It's your hero phase buff. You pick a friendly Molder unit wholly within 13. You pick one of that target's melee weapons, and you get +1 rend. Great. Okay.
That's cool. Great.
Good Rat Ogre buff.
You mean
them to rend too. Very important.
Molder is doing moldery things? Great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Dig it.
And then Tinkerer.
And then Pit Tinkerer, yeah. You can reroll the random characteristic rolls for the move characteristic of friendly Scryer War Machines. So your Doom Wheels and your Doom Flares. While they're wholly within 13 inches of this unit. In addition, each time a friendly Scryer War Machine wholly within 18 inches of this unit uses the Rolling Doom or Whirling Doom ability, add 1 to the amount of mortal damage inflicted, if any. Oh, good. My 2-up do some mortal damage on a D3 is now 3 or 4 mortals instead of 2 or 3. Woohoo. I guess, look, I'm glad it exists. For the lunatic out there that wants to run 4 Doom Wheels and 12 Doom Flares, you got a thing now.
Is this finally a role for the Claw Lord on Big Rat? To keep up with the Doom Wheels? Because that's the problem, is what hero is running after your Doom Wheels in order to keep them in this bubble, right? So it would have to be the rat on rat.
Maybe. Sure, absolutely. I mean, there's probably a goofball list with that. I think it's a terrible list, but it's funny. It should have let you, by the way, this should have let you also
Yeah.
re-roll the shots of the
Yeah.
Doom Wheel. That would have been the impactful thing.
Yeah.
Because their shots are all random too. Like it's the Doom Wheel has the classic ogre problem of random number of attacks and random damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it's just a silly thing. It's in there for somebody who really likes Doom Wheels, and I'm glad it exists. I felt like a bonus went in here, honestly, because we got 3 of them.
Sure.
And because the one was so short, and they were like, "Well, we got some more space on the page. What else do you got?" And they were like, "Yeah, this crazy thing." Okay, it's fine. All right.
Somebody will enjoy that.
Somebody will enjoy it, and look, I'm here for it. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 new War Scrolls. We got the Grey Seer, and we got the Brood Terror. Okay. Now I should state these both got cheaper. The Grey Seer on Screaming Bell in the Soggy version is $310. The Soggy Brood Terror is $240 as opposed to, sorry, $310 instead of $350, and the Soggy Brood Terror is $240 instead of $260. Now again, we don't know if the other, like the base points that I'm comparing that to could change with the GHB. So I don't, like, they might end up actually being the exact same points in the end, right? Whenever the new points come out. So that's fine. And I agree, David Campbell, who said the last one is at least fun. It's a big improvement over bad and boring. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's a fun narrative, goofy thing. I'm not angry at it. Like, make things like that. It's fine. I want to see more things like that. Okay, so the wheel of this guy is effectively the same as it's always been. 6 inches, 15, 4 up, 5 control. Fine, great. All right, so then, and it's attacks and blah, 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 or, mostly the same stuff. But now we have we have 2 very, very new rules. Okay, I had 2 big complaints with the Screaming Bell. 1, rolling the bell die was stupid, and you usually hated it. And 2, its spell was utter garbo and completely worthless. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This thing has now been replaced with 3 really good rules. Okay?
It has.
So, first off, you've got the bell tolls. So if the current battle round number is odd, 1, 3, and 5, you add 2 inches to the move characteristic of friendly Skaven units within 13. If the current battle round number is even, -1 from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy units that target a friendly Skaven unit while they're wholly within 13 of this unit. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Like, my only thing I don't like here is I wish you could have set the order. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You choose which one is on which turns.
Yeah. Whether you could do like odd being -1 to hit or even being -1 to hit, and then the other ones just fall appropriately. That would be my only like difference between great and perfect is that in my mind. But I love this. It sets you up. It lets you move aggressively in the first round, then gives you -1 to hit to protect yourself in the second round. Works really well with the actual lore manifestations where you can throw out the Bell of Dom and get -1 to hit, right? Or sorry, -1 to wound. Apologize. There we go. Yeah.
So it would stack.
Yep. So -1 to hit and -1 to wound. I will state, if you wanted to, you could also use the old Brood Terror for another big bubble of -1 to hit, just to make sure people can't all-out attack their way out of it. So it really does give you some protective options, right? If combined with the crazy heroic trait above, you could also have a guy in the middle granting everything a 6-up ward in that area. So like it can actually be pretty defensive if that's how you want to build it out, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So this is where I wanted to get to something important. Nicholas Zhang says, with Field Sergeant, you have move 10. No, you don't. No, you don't, Nicholas. No, you don't. Okay. Because Field Sergeant is a seasonal rule of the 2024-2025 GHB.
Yes.
When these rules become...
And we don't know.
Those seasonal rules will go away and or change. So I would expect that all of that will not be present. So you will not have the double 2-inch move. I get it. That was the first thing I thought about as well. But I would not put any money on that. Those rules will very likely go away. Field Sergeant will be gone in the new GHB. Okay. So there you go.
Which is heartbreaking for some playstyles.
Sure.
But
okay. So yes, sadly you will not have your move 10 Ret Ogres. They will still be move 8, which is what all of mine are right now because I use Field Sergeant. In the future they'll be move 8 because of this. But then you also have Gnaw Through Reality, your new spell. It's a casting value 6, and it turns your bell into a null.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's amazing.
You're just gonna like just pop out a new unit or like a half strength unit that died.
Sure, you can bring your half strength unit back. You can teleport something next to it away from it and over to one of the things. Like it's just highly valuable to have a mobile null.
Well, could it teleport itself to another hole?
I don't
think
so. Because you have to like
because it itself counts at like it's within so many inches of itself.
I guess. I don't know, maybe. It's a good FAQ question. I haven't thought that through. I need to go read very carefully how the tunnel through reality ability works to see if it has like the word other in it or whatever. So I don't know. So
be great.
Yeah. But yes, it counts as one for the null hole, ambush, tunnels through reality, and vermintide ability. So it's nice. Let's other things pop out next to it, stuff like that. So
yep, and it solves actually the rain problem too.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Like having your stuff blown up off, like it helps solve that issue.
Yep. Okay. So and then your last ability, which I actually think is crazy good. So once per turn, army, end of any turn, echoes the Vermin Doom. Pick each friendly Skaven unit wholly within 13 inches of this unit, including this unit, to be the target. Heal D3 each target. Tom, this is an amazing heal level.
That's wild.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and now it's not going to put models back into units.
Correct. Which means it's worthless for piles of clan rats, but it's amazing for retogers and things like that. Yeah.
And monsters or
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, breed terror.
I mean, Tom, I want you to really think about the healing nexus here. Okay, let me put together a little fun sample thing for you. Let's run a molder list and put this guy at the head of it, and he's going to anchor the center of this molder list.
I believe it. Yeah, okay. With brood terrors. Oof.
Right. So let's say we've got a brood terror, and let's even throw in a hell pit just for comedy. Okay, let's do it. Let's get one of each in there.
Sure.
Both of those heal D6 at the end of both turns, the end of any turn. Right. You've got, let's say, 1 or 2 Master Molders who can just heal 3 directly, anything. And this thing pulses and heals a D3. And let's go ahead and put Foulhide on this thing so it itself heals another D3 at the end of the turn. So the bell is healing 2D3. The big monsters are healing D6 plus a D3 plus potentially 3 if they need to. And all the Rat Ogres are healing D3, again, plus potentially 3 if they need to, depending on where you point the Master Molder.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's a lot of healing.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of healing, and you could be giving those Rat Ogres ward of 6 because Rat Ogres are infantry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the new trait with double heroes, you could be giving those Rat Ogres a ward of 6 and a 13-inch bubble too.
Absolutely. Yep. So I like this a lot. The bell is back. We finally got there, baby. We've got rules I want to run for the first time in a long time. I really want to put the Screaming Bell in my army, as well you should.
Now I have to build this thing.
It's the classic centerpiece of this army. My God, I'm glad to see it get back on the table. Yeah. All right.
It is.
Then we've also got the new Brood Terror. This is a totally different build for this thing. Okay. So, again, basically the same wheel. But importantly, it now has a 5-up ward save. So the old version did not. It just had a 5-up save and no ward. Big change. Now, this does make it a little bit of a non-bow with the Molder ability, because if you roll the really hot die, it doesn't matter. You're not getting a second ward save, but whatever. That's still fine. I'll still take the +1 attack. That's a great bonus, right? So I'm just rolling for the 3-up +1 attack. And I love the Brood Terror, by the way. I've been running him like crazy in my lists, and I love the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think he's absolutely a good unit. Brian Vestal, primarily. I mean, I play other things as well, but primarily. Star Slayer, thank you for the super chat. I really like the ward save being depicted this way next to the regular save. Also, hooray for a good Screaming Bell. Well, you aren't wrong. Okay, so now he has this new ability called Lend a Claw, because there's a Master Molder embedded in the Brood Terror. And so basically what happens is the loosely attached bladed limbs gained 2 attacks, Tom, between this and the old scroll. So it went from 3 attacks to 5 attacks. And what you can do is pick up to 4 other friendly non-scryer Molder units. Important note there, you can't do this to Storm Fiends, right? So it's for rat
Sure.
ogres, or you can do it to a different brood terror, I guess, if you wanted to run two. They can't
Yeah.
both do this, but you could do it to a different one, or you could do it to the Hell Pit. The Hell Pit could get it. Subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of this unit's loosely attached bladed limbs for the rest of the phase for each target picked. Add 1 to hit rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the phase. This is so good. This is so good. You're losing 1 Carbo attack from this guy of 2 bonus ones they gave you. Because really what's going to happen is you're going to pick 2 Rat Ogre units. That's the targets.
Yeah, correct.
And you're going to go back to the same number of attacks you used to have with this garbage attack that doesn't matter. And they're going to get free multi-targeting all-out attack.
All multiple. Yep.
This is so good.
It's great. It's great. Love it.
Yeah.
This is the one that you wish that you could do 2 different ones of, though?
Correct. Yes. I want to take both the old Brood Terror and the new Brood Terror and have them next to each other, so the old one can like poop his little cloud of neg 1 to hit, and the new one can give everybody on our team +1 to hit, and just really get the
well, you don't need to worry about that anymore, because you're going to run a bell, reinforcing it, and get the neg 1 to hit bubble from that.
I understand. It would just be nice to have the extra protection in round 3. That's what I'm actually concerned with.
So that's what you have for.
Sure. But overall, this is great. Like, what a wonderful set of enhancements for Skaven. Very exciting. I think this new Brood Terror is awesome. It tackled like a major problem with using Rotogers, which was the fact that they're on 4s to hit. You know, it's really good. I don't know what else to say. It's really good. It's great. Like, truly the only thing that makes me kind of sad is I'd really just love to see more of this. Like, I'm sad we stopped at 2 when we're writing stuff this good. Give me a page 3. Hit a couple more War Scrolls. Put some stank on it. Like, let's go. You know, did we have to limit this to 2 pages? Yeah. You're on a roll here, guys. Don't stop.
Well, and that's why I was asking, like, I wonder if they're going to print this. Like, I wonder if this is going to get printed in the book, because at 2 pages, you're at like 50 pages. And you're a clean open face for each army. So like you can turn to a certain page and it has all of your army rules on the supplements on both pages.
Maybe.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I just don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. But one can dream.
Sure, of course. But really cool, good, fun rules that open up the doorway. They're evocative and open up the doorway to different and new lists. I'm sorry, what? This is exactly what we were looking for. Like, again, truly, my only complaint is there's not enough of it. You got the hot hand here. Don't walk away from the table, right? Like, keep going.
Sure. Yeah, agreed.
So there you go. Okay. All right. Boop. Stormcast. All right, so Stormcast is a little different. No sub-factions in this one. Instead, we went heroic traits and artifacts of power, as opposed to. And only 1 War Scroll, right? Here's what I'll say, Tom. I hope that more of them look like the Skaven one than look like the Stormcast one. Like, I'm not going to lie, okay?
Yeah.
I do think there's a really distinct difference here. I'm sorry if everybody can hear that siren. I'm in the middle of a big city here, and
it's fine.
I can't control that. At any rate, I just think the Skaven one is way better than the Stormcast one, right? And yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ingvar, like, can we mention how cool it is to get new Warhammer stuff every day for several weeks? Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay.
You have my attention.
Right. All right, so let's get into here. We've got the Stormcast stuff. We got 3 new heroic traits. So first off, Legendary Tenacity. The first time this unit would be destroyed before moving a play, roll a die. On a 3-up, it's not destroyed, and any remaining damage points inflicted have no effect. Then heal D3 this unit. You know what's so funny about this, Tom? On like a recent show a couple weeks back, I don't know if it was you and I or not, I was just talking about this ability, right? And like how it used to be in the game all over the place, and then it just went away, and they stopped doing it. And I wonder if they're going to bring that back.
It was on our...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. It's here.
It's here. Hey, I guess they're bringing it back. Okay, cool. Fine, right? That was my response to that was like, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Then we've got the Hour of Glory. This one's crazy. This unit can be picked to use their finest hour ability, even if it has already used it in this battle. In addition, when this unit is picked to use their finest hour ability, add 5 to its control score for the rest of the turn. My biggest question is, who is this going on? Because so many of your Stormcast heroes are like named heroes, are unique, right?
The Celestin on Dracoth. To spam the finest hour button. Okay. Where he's like a permanent 2, permanent control of 15 or whatever, 10, yeah. Right? Like, and just hard as nails. Like
permanent
that's who
10,
this is going.
5 up ward, and what's the other bonus is something else. But yeah.
It's not +1 save. It's
this has literally been how long since I've played Stormcast Army that I do not remember what the other part of finest hour is. But yes,
literally just played against them. I'll tell you here in a minute. We can continue.
But that's fine. Yes, I agree. Everybody in the comments is saying Star Drake, and I agree. Like, this is the Star Drake one. All your foot heroes are not gonna actually make up the difference here with this. Like, I did look through to see if there was any that I thought would be cool with this on them, right? Yeah. But it's the Star Drake. Yeah.
Yes, the Star Drake is the right answer.
+1 to save and wound. Okay, there you go. That's what it is. Sorry, +1 to
save and wound. There it is. Yes, that's the right answer. Like, so he's on a permanent 2 up, and wounding on 2s.
Pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's great. Like, this is honestly a missing component. Ironically, in the existing Stormcast, they really didn't have a heroic trait that made them like into a beater, like an offensive beater one, which is strange. As the hammers of the God King, you'd think that would be something they would have, but
you'd hope, right?
Yeah. So there you go. Okay, and then Intense Piety. Pick a visible enemy, priest, or wizard within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. Sorry, this is in your hero phase. Roll a die on 3 up, subtract 1 from casting rolls and enchanting rolls to the target until the start of your next turn. I hate stuff like this. I really do. I mean, maybe this is good, maybe it's bad, but I hate stuff like this where I've got to have my guy out there and I can only do it when I'm actually within a certain range of their enemy. That's no good.
No, it's bad because your guy has to be out there. It has to be within 18 of the enemy, and you have to roll a 3 up. Mm-hmm. 2, move the needle 1 die, one tick down.
Yeah,
like it's bad. It's okay. We can name what this is. Like, not all of them are rock stars, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if this said, do you know how to fix this immediately?
And you gain +1 to casting or chanting for another person or something like that? Okay, go ahead. What's your fix?
Nope. Subtract 1 from the power.
Subtract 1 from from their power level. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Suddenly, you have a very usable, very interesting, powerful ability.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fun.
2 casters go to 1. Single casters can't cast.
Sure.
You get one target that you can shut down.
Yeah, this one underwhelmed me. I mean, on the prayer thing, it's interesting since they're less interactable, and like -1 to chant is a hugely impactful penalty on a D6 roll, right? It just is. It means that most of the time they're just not going to get their prayers off in one turn. Like moving a 4 prayer to a 5 effectively, mathematically, is really impactful. But still, I don't know if I take it. How many times do you fight armies that don't even have priests?
And they're -2 off turn as well.
Yeah. That's right. But okay, it's cute. I just don't think it's very good. It's one of those weird ones where, like, in the right situation, it would actually be very strong, right? Where you're like making them somebody who wants to cast a lot off turn, and so you're making them -2 to chant or cast, and that's really powerful. And then when it gets to their turn, it becomes really hard for them to actually like build up any points and then actually get anything off. Like, that's all good, but it relies on like the very specific situation where your guy is there, he's in range, he's not getting answered or charged or killed off, and they have a priest or a wizard that's actually, critical to their strategy for success.
Right. And only a single one. Right. Because oftentimes if you have a wizard that's critical to the strategy, they'll have multiple wizards, and so that they have backup casters for their lore and for their endless spells, which, by the way, are most of what they're casting. They're not casting War Scroll spells most of the time.
Right.
And then the people who you'd really want to hit with this, like Teclis or like Lord of Change, just ignore it based on the other abilities on their War Scroll.
Yeah.
matching dice or um, just setting the dice to 10.
Yeah, I can't think of how many armies I run where like if somebody had this against me, I'd be like, okay,
I'd be
enjoy
like,
yourself.
cool, man.
Like, have a good time. I don't care. I never
Yeah,
make spells an
true.
essential part of my battle plan because I think they just failed way too easily. Okay. They're always just like some bonus nachos on top. If you manage to get there and pull this off of me, who cares? It wasn't part of my plan anyways. So.
Well, you just need a wizard with +4 to cast. Like that's you just need to play Cruel Boys and get a wizard with +4 to cast. It's easy.
Yeah.
Then you can rely on it.
Okay. So then artifacts of power. So already there are two things I don't like here in the header text of these, which is once per battle. We have 2 once per battle artifacts, which I do not like.
These better be so good.
Absolutely. So the first one is once per battle, your hero phase, the Banner of Sigmar. Pick an objective within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. Until the start of your next turn, your opponent cannot control the target objective while they have no units contesting it. Okay. This is actually a really interesting, unique play space that we've never mucked around in.
It is.
Right? Like this is the first.
It's a wonderful play space. They missed the target though.
Okay.
Like if it's once per game, once per battle, it should have been all objectives on the battlefield.
Okay.
Right, forcing them to be contesting. Right, because if they have a unit nearby, this does nothing.
I gotcha.
Even as a once per game ability. And so it should be either all objectives or it should be 1 per turn.
Yeah, this is again one of those things. It's like it's hard for me to actually size up the value of this. Like there's no doubt it could steal a game, right? Like that's simply the truth.
Yep.
This artifact could literally win you the game by its activation. Because you use it smartly, you gain control of an objective, it tilted you to, hold 1, hold more, or whatever, if that's still a thing, which it seems to be from the little preview we saw, and suddenly you got up on points, and, like, that's the game. Right? Okay, so, like, we're talking about an artifact that can, as the rules are printed, alone, through its sole activation, win you the game. Okay?
If you're within 18 inches of said objective.
And that's just it. Because the flip side of this is your character has to be with the person wielding the artifact has to be within 18 inches of it. And importantly, they have to have no movement tricks or people nearby that could get them on the objective. Because you're doing this in your turn, right?
Correct.
You're doing this in your hero phase. You are telegraphing this the entire turn. So any trick they have, like if they can... Let's say you're going up against Skaven, a great example. Okay, I'll off-turn Skitterleap to get somebody onto the objective, right? Or I'll wait till you're done with movement. If I'm close to it, I'll redeploy onto it, right? Like it is eminently counterable at the same time. So because of that, it's just very hard for me to exactly evaluate how often this actually earns you points. I don't know. Like, Nicholas, maybe, is my answer. He says it's going to cause a 2 to 4 point swing in most games. Maybe is my answer. Like again, I don't know that. Like there are plenty of ways this could be countered, which alone might have some power, right? You're making them move or do things or activate things they might not have wanted to do.
Power perceived is power achieved, right? Like you're forcing them to play a certain way.
Yes.
But the reality is that like good players will just play around this. I don't think that you'll ever get into a situation where you can like checkmate them, a good player, with this ability.
Sure.
I just don't think
the higher the skill of your opponent, the less valuable this is. I'll say that for sure.
Yep.
Now, that being said, if you manage to keep it on the hero and they survive until late in the game, where this obviously also to then flip back again and provide another positive, it is the strongest in like turn 4 and turn 5 in the late game. When the number of units gets thin and it's hard for people to actually cover all the objectives on the board, right?
Yeah.
And that's when it's going to most likely cause a point swing. So again,
is this guy still alive then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you
like
can
the
keep that guy alive. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For that one turn, because you get it once per game.
Yeah. For that whole turn cycle, because it is until the start of your next turn. So, theoretically a full cycle.
I just then that's the first question is this usable? The second question is this better than all other options? Because you only get one of these.
Yeah. I'm back and forth on it. I'm not sure. Is ultimately my answer.
Like, okay. Is it better than strikes first once per game?
I don't know how to evaluate this one because it's one of those, like, it's an inverse bell curve one.
Yeah.
Right? Where either it literally wins you the game or it does nothing.
Yeah.
Those are literally the two outcomes for this. Right?
Yep. Yep.
So, at any rate, let's talk about the other two. So, Sigil of Morda. Once per turn reaction, opponent declared a command or rampage ability for a unit in combat with this unit. Effect, roll a die. On a 3-up, that command or rampage has no effect. It still counts as having been used, and any command points spent to use that ability are still lost. This is really strong. It could obviously just go right up with Hour of Glory on your Star Drake, and now they're like 66% immune to rampages, and or like people can't all out defense in combat with them, or all out attack on them, or do other things like that. So yeah, it's just really strong.
Yeah, all out assault as well. Like you can shut down any of those.
Yeah. Yep. Like that's it's a great thing to stack with Hour of Glory. It's pretty direct what it's going to do. It's going to make your Star Drake very, 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 very tough. Very hard to remove as a piece by a lot of traditional methods. So yeah, great, good, like thumbs up, good artifact. Once per battle, any hero phase, the Beacon of Azir. This isn't any hero phase, but okay, we'll keep going.
Yep.
Pick a visible friendly Stormcast Eternals wizard or priest wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target. The next time this turn that the target uses a prayer or spell ability, instead of making a casting or chanting roll for them, you can use a value of 7 for the roll that cannot be modified. After that, the ability is resolved. The target has, if they have any ritual points, their ritual points are reset to 0. Ritual points apply modifiers, so cannot be used with this ability to increase the chanting roll to more than 7, as a designer's note. So basically, once per game, in any hero phase, you get a free cast of 7 that cannot be modified. Okay?
Right. So actually, like, you also, if you're magical interventioning,
yep,
it stays at 7.
Yeah, that's right. So this is once per battle, but it's strong in the other way, where it's just like, it does handle the biggest problem with Magic, which is like, Magic is very swingy, prayers are very swingy. It's easy for your plans to fall apart because you just happen to roll bad one time. This is the classic Tzeentch cheat, right? Like, this is just, nope, it's that number instead.
Cheat win.
Yep. Like, this is very strong.
I love it.
Yeah. As a once per battle, I think this is honestly very strong. Because it has the any hero phase tag. If it was your hero phase, it would be a lot less good. I'll say that. But it's not. It's any hero phase. So hence, it's really, really strong. So, yeah, I mean, like, translocating automatically on your opponent's turn, or just like doing 100 things, you could imagine. Endless spells, manifestations, like this can be automatic casting of a manifestation. It's going to get everything out there except Kronspine basically automatically, right? And Kronspine and Purple Sun, who are both 8s, but still. It's just really good. Once per battle, do the thing without any kind of randomness is a strong ability. I don't know how else to say it. So, there you go.
Agreed.
Okay. Then we have Iridan the Witness, new scroll. Now, I did not compare this to the old scroll. I apologize. I don't know this one as well. Tom, do you have the old scroll handy?
I'll pull it up. It's right here.
Okay. I didn't get a chance since this one just came out today and I'm traveling. I did not have anything with me to do this comparison.
The wheel is the same.
So 12, 12, 3,
except
5.
He picks up,
okay.
But he picks up a word save.
Okay.
He did not have a word save previously.
Okay.
For attacks, the axe is the same. No, the axe is a set 3 damage instead of a D3.
Okay, way better with crit mortal.
Yep. The talons are identical.
Okay.
No, the talons were crit 2 hits. Now they're charged +1 damage.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yep. So
6, that'll
4,
probably
2,
result
2,
in
but
more
now
damage.
charge +1 becomes 3 damage on the charge. Okay.
Yep. And
Oh yes, I'm
it
sorry.
looks
Iridan
like
is a they them.
almost
Yeah, I should be very clear on that. Yeah, this is them. They are better.
they them. Sorry. Yep. And then everything else is different.
Everything
All the
else is different.
abilities, everything else is different.
Great.
So,
well, we'll just evaluate this as it is, and the new version of them is 310, right? So
yep.
Okay. So the flames
and the prior version of them was 290.
Okay, got it. All right, so let's get going here. The Flames of Hope. Effect, you can re-roll resistance rolls for friendly Ruination Chamber units while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Okay, pretty strong. Resistance, by the way, is just the Ruination Chamber I shrug off non-core ability things. Okay.
Yep.
And speaking of, they have their own new resistance roll, which is a lot stronger than the default, because the default is not a 3-up, but theirs is.
Yeah. Yeah, so they used to have the default, and they've lost the default and gained this better one.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, fantastic. Good. I mean, a 3-up, basically being immune to all non-core abilities once per turn is pretty good. It's pretty good. So their new prayer, yeah, somebody said, what's the little red bubble? Yeah, it's the word save. Okay. So again, I think that's throwing people, because if you didn't buy the new cards that actually did that thing, you never saw that shorthand. It's a really nice UX. I like it a lot. All right, your hero phase. Demands of the witness, chance on a 3. Declare, pick a visible friendly Ruination Chamber unit wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target, then make a chanting roll d6. Until the start of your next turn, add 1 to the rend characteristic of the target's melee weapons. If the chanting roll is 7+, you can pick another eligible unit to be the second target.
So good.
I'm sorry, what?
So good.
That was really good.
A prayer on a 3 to add rend, and I can already know who I'm rending. I'm rending my my big boys. My 6-pack of whatever they're called, the new guys.
Yes. The Reclusians? Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, the 6-pack of Reclusians.
Sure. Okay. Like, pretty great. And also just, you could pick yourself. They could pick themselves.
Yeah, it's only going to apply to 4 attacks, but yes, sure. You could pick yourself.
I mean, if you want the main weapon to be Rend 3, maybe a little bit of a hat on a hat with a crit mortal attack, but still, it's strong, but that's fine. But yes, absolutely, the Reclusians are a great target, no doubt about it. Okay.
So I played a wonderful Stormcast list at Trash Clash a couple weeks ago. It was my only loss, actually. And he was playing 6 Reclusians with the guy in the Quicksilver draft and all that, and he was running he was running Ionis as support. And I could easily see that running basically an identical list, dropping Ionis and subbing in Iridan, and then adding, then freeing up another 100 and some points, right, almost, to slot in elsewhere.
Was your opponent running prosecutors? Because that's also another potential target for this. Yeah.
Yep. He was running a reinforced prosecutor unit.
Yeah. So pretty good. Yeah. Remember, they have to be Ruination Chamber to be a target. So like no Fulminators, no Annihilators, all that kind of stuff doesn't count. They have to be Ruination Chamber.
Right. But prosecutors are pretty good.
Yeah, prosecutors are pretty good. Reclusians are pretty good. Like you've got targets for this. That's not an issue. You have plenty of very good.
Like I can imagine, like having your prosecutors near your temple or your bathhouse or whatever you want to call it.
Sure, the outhouse,
right?
The magical outhouse.
Have him buff, increase rend, and then teleport him out in 3d6 charge.
Sure.
Into like a soft vulnerable back something.
Yep. Okay. So, no, he is not a War Master. And then you have your Rampage, which is once per turn, army, any combat phase on Wings of Death. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this to be the target. Roll a die. On a 3-up, you can remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield within 1 inch of the target. If the target charged this turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the turn. So, okay. Good repositioning thing. Like, obviously, you can't just teleport anywhere, right? You're moving around that unit. But still, that could potentially be quite a lot of movement, actually, especially when
Yeah.
you consider the
Well,
size
and,
of
and
the
it'll
base.
pull you out of combats. That may be a problem.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So like here's a funny use of this. Okay. I can imagine a world where like a Sons of Behemoth tries to grab and body slam this guy and put him into the box with three other giants.
Sure.
And because that happens in like the charge phase, and then this happens in the combat phase before pylons happen, and so he's like, nope, and bounces out to the edge where he's only in combat with one of them again.
I hate to disappoint you, but that rampage you're describing also happens in the combat phase, so it's a question of whose turn it is.
It doesn't matter because if they go first, yeah, they would have to.
Correct. If
they would have
they
to charge
activate
you.
first, if it's on their turn, it's ironically worse for them because they would activate, put you in the kill box, and then you would potentially teleport out.
And then you would bounce out.
If it's your turn, you'll try to teleport away first, and then they'll try to put you back in the box. Ironically, these are both happening on a 3-up, so.
Yep.
But yes, I mean, look, you get double charged. Like if Iridan gets double charged, then they can pull themselves out of one of those combats and just go to the corner of one outside of the pylon distance of another one potentially of the other unit. Like that's certainly possible. It could let them reposition to like threaten an objective. Like it's just a very very good rampage, right? It has everything.
Like I love
all wrapped into one with the combination of like good movement trick plus potentially a debuff in the opponent's turn. So,
yeah, I love this scroll. Like, this to me seems to be worth 310.
Yeah, agreed. It's a great scroll. Like, what a glow up for a beautiful centerpiece model that they released the scroll for, and everybody was like, "I sleep." Yep. Right, and then they actually got this together, and hey, made a good scroll. Proof we can write a good rule. This is great. Proof Tony Stark has a heart. Right.
Sure.
So at any rate, yeah. I was very happy with this so far. Again, I do think the Skaven one was a little better. This is a rewrite of a key war scroll. I again repeat my call that I wish we would.
But Stormcast is doing well.
No, that's fine.
Like,
I agree.
Like it's at the top of the meta. It's fun.
Sure. There's still some underwhelming scrolls in Stormcast. Like, yes, Stormcast is doing well.
Well, yeah, there's 70 scrolls or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's my point, right? Like, yes, Stormcast is doing well, largely on the back of a few units, realistically. Like, there's sort of there's sort of 2.5 builds for Stormcast right now. Okay, I don't want to be silly about it, but like, I don't understand. Like that's still not a reason to not do something good with the bad stuff in the book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Agreed.
But at any rate, this is it's fine. Like by all accounts, I would rate the Skaven one like probably an 8 or a 9, and the Stormcast one like a 7 or an 8. That would be my evaluation of these. If they had added like one more page, given us a couple more scrolls, I would probably be at a solid 9-10 for both. So that's where I'm at. If we had 3 to 4 scrolls, because there really is like 3 to 4 seriously problem, ipsum lorem text war scrolls in every book, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So I just think the opportunity was there, but overall, still very good.
I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, final thoughts, Tom, on this one.
Yeah, it's enticing to me. Like, I love what it's doing. If like it makes me want to. I was already wanting to run Reclusians and run all that if I was going to play Stormcast as like my house list, and this would make me want to run this guy. Like, I'd have to have a hard decision between him and Ionis because I really do like the double prayer.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're a really strong war scroll. Iridan is really good. I love the new bell. Like, I love it so much. It's great. I have wanted a good. I've been talking for a long time about how the Screaming Bell being bad is like unacceptable because it is the traditional centerpiece unit of the army. It's on the cover of like a million of the books. It's been the thing since the inception of Skaven, and so it being a Garbo scroll was just unacceptable. And so when we got a beautiful glow up for it that I really love, I think it's fantastic. I mean, great. Good work, guys.
Agreed.
Let's see more, right? What's coming up next? So FEC is tomorrow, we know. And I'm sure next week we'll be back to talk about all of them that are in the interim period. We don't know what's beyond FEC yet, but so we'll see. Whatever it is, we'll be here to discuss it. Hey, everybody, we got to keep a short show today, but thank you all for joining in. Thank you to everybody who chatted, who was throwing in their own feedback. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. Much appreciated. I got to get back to work. I got a lot on my plate today, but at any rate, I hope you all enjoyed this early show. Tom, thanks for jumping in, brother. It's good to have you.
Of course.
For all of you out there, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the new episode of Snarlcast. It's down in the description. Uncle Adam and I discuss the importance of lore in games. And is it important at all? I don't know. You'll have to listen to the episode and find out. You might hear me talk about BattleTech lore in there some. I might get on a bit of a thing because I think there is a game with the greatest lore ever written, and that game is called BattleTech. At any rate, check that out. Stay tuned for watch this space for some announcements coming pretty soon on Uncle Adam and I's new game. Hit up everything else down there. There's, of course, your affiliate links down there to save yourself money and pick up your hobby supplies. Pick up yourself some new stuff from Michigan Toy Soldier or from Monument or stuff like that. You save money, and it really does help the channel. Of course, there's Patreon down there. There's the merch store down there, all that kind of stuff. So I think so far with these, with the Scourge of Ghyran for our soggy rules, we're 2 out of 2. Let's hope we keep running that way. So for all of you out there, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you next Wednesday.